What's up, guys? Your boy TK here. We got the whole crew. We got Pete.
It's all
Jay,
of us.
What's up, man? How's it
You
going?
never get all of us on the camera.
right now. He's not gonna say very much.
Hey there. Hey.
Guys, Fizdale just got fired.
Yep.
What do we have to say about it? How do you feel?
I expected it just the same way that I get barbecue sauce with my chicken nuggets.
Pete, how do you feel?
Not shocked at all, and also confused. Not necessarily confused. I'm confused how to feel about it because one, I did have a problem with his coaching.
Why?
So I'm like,
Why
yeah,
are you talking about
I'd rather have a different coach. But at the same time, I feel like he's totally a scapegoat in this situation as well because there's some
Absolutely.
complexities there. But we'll get into some more details. Why don't you go around
So
the rest
guys,
of the group?
was it well deserved or no?
Well deserved.
Hi, he wants to talk.
I'm gonna say it was unfortunately deserved.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of question marks as to his rotations, as to how he treated the younger players in terms of. Thanks, man. In terms of how he dealt with his rotations, that was the biggest question mark. But at the end of the day, something had to be done. It's unfortunate it happened to Phil. Phil. To the MadGood Knicks show season 2.
It happened to Phil too. Don't worry.
Fizdale. Steve Mills is the problem.
Phil.
Yeah.
Point blank.
Yep.
Far when the mic gets handed to you, you gotta say your name, employer, and location. For me,
Get him out of here.
of course, I agree with what everyone said. It sucks being the last one because you're basically just reiterating everything. But
Actually,
yeah,
I
it was
haven't gone-
unfortunate.
Say it with your chest.
That's true. Yes. It was very unfortunate. He was assigned for one job for KP. It sucks that everything changed and he had to basically pick up a plan B. Everything's all over the place, disorganized. But of course, like in today's NBA, the coach is the first one to be out. So sucks for him, but there's no doubt that he'll make an impact somewhere else.
You know what is the most disappointing part of this?
Besides
That we're Knicks
Fizdale
fans?
getting
That you're
fired?
reading notes
Aside,
about this?
aside from that we're Knicks fans, they came in with so much hope and potential. You know,
Yeah.
when-
It was the dog pen.
Every
They had
goddamn year.
chains around them. Yeah.
it's also funny though because Mills and Perry.
Yeah.
I just kind of want to leave Perry out of this because I feel like
I think
he's
they're
guilty by
they're
association.
spared.
Unfortunately, no,
Spared.
not anymore. We'll just separate this and we'll call him Mills. So Mills brought one person to the table to meet James Dolan, and that was David Fizdale. He was so enamored by David Fizdale for whatever reason we don't know
He's
now.
very charismatic.
But I will say this about Fizdale: he was a great motivator, and all of the players seem to really like him a lot.
Yeah.
You know, the media even credits David Fizdale about how good of a guy he was. I say all that to say we need a basketball coach.
Thank you.
And unfortunately,
Thank
he
you.
did not do the best coaching job, and it was very apparent, right? The way he used his lineups, the lack of X's and O's. I think we all saw that last season, and we kind of knew going into the season we had to see some changes. Ultimately, no changes were made. Fizdale did sign up to coach KP. That didn't happen. Fizz, you gotta go. Sorry to see that happen to you, bro.
I agree, and I think the whole scapegoat thing comes down to basically, I think Mills is trying to keep his job. He's been at the helm for a while now,
13 years.
gone through a lot of coaches and stuff, and I feel like Dolan is now really kind of drawing a line in the sand and saying like, this is it. We need to see some improvement. So I feel like Mills always has the coach card. He's always playing the coach card. It's like, oh, we need a different coach, and you get a new set of players, and every few years he gets to reset and start over and be like, let's try this.
Every year.
I think we always had a problem with Fizz. First, he was not really proven. I mean, you can find a lot of footage of me saying, like, I'm not a believer in Fizz. I'm not saying he sucks. I don't believe in him yet. Partly because his Memphis record didn't do much for me. Partly because he had kind of an issue with another player. Partly because when he came in, I didn't see like basketball actions and offenses that I wanted to see for the NBA. So to me, it's like Mills is just kind of like running through his last bit of whatever luck. He's trying to see whatever works so he doesn't get fired. That's my sense.
Sure.
But the problem was, what complicates is Fizdale also was, I think, an unproven coach. He was an assistant coach, yes. He had some limited experience in Memphis, but again, I'm not surprised, but I am disheartened because I feel like, again, this resets us, and until we do something about Mills, I think this is just going to be a broken record every few years.
The biggest elephant in the room, though, James Dolan. And I know we've had multiple conversations every Knicks fan has about how do you treat an owner like James Dolan, where he's claimed I've backed off of basketball operations. But look, at the end of the day, you still have the coin purse. You still have the decisions that needs to be made around the president and the GM when they're no longer here. So no, that's BS. James Dolan, you're still in charge. You still own the team, and it's a cash cow for you. I recommend everyone go 2 seasons back and look at that segment that I said about how can you actually have a product like the New York Knicks be the 4th richest sports franchise in the world. That includes Manchester United. That includes
Hold owners accountable, and that's not happening.
Not just owners, man. Mainly the damn Knicks. They have been disastrous.
Yeah,
as long as
that's-
I've been alive.
That's
I
a
mean,
lot to ask from Silver. It's like, look, we need you to babysit the Knicks.
But that's
Who
the
the
thing.
hell are we gonna ask?
But
Gold?
That's the thing.
Because
Like,
Silver ain't cutting it.
the Knicks have done the NBA has done stuff like preventing teams from tanking. They've prevented teams
Somebody call
from
up Gold because Silver ain't cutting it right now.
They've prevented teams from tanking.
Chelsea. That includes the Dallas Cowboys.
The Yankees.
How in the world can you put such a shit product 20 straight years and be the richest NBA team? And then on top of that, the NBA doesn't want to step in and do anything about it. How's that a good look? How can you make money like this? The solution
Are you kidding
is
me? By making money the same way
I know,
we have
no,
been
no,
for the
but
past 20 years.
That's a facetious question, but at the end of the day,
It's called greed.
at the end of the day, unless the NBA is taxing the owners, I don't see any form of success
put them on
coming to the
probation.
Knicks.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, like, I totally agree with what Farr is saying, and it's alluding to what Michael Rappaport said during an Instagram video. For those of you, I mean, yeah, it was a very offensive video for a lot of people, but he made some valid points where it's like these celebrities are coming to the games, supporting the energy, supporting the atmosphere for free. They're giving these tickets.
Free
We have a
99.
lot of tourist fans coming in, right? So it's very high turnover. You're gonna get people coming in and out,
New
like.
York.
People at the Garden, filling up the Garden is not going to be a problem no matter what the record is. And not just the New York Knicks, but look at the New York Rangers, what Dolan has done with them. I mean, listen, hands-off basketball operations, it's like saying a CEO is hands-off, his, like, corporate operations or whatever the hell it may be. It's just like any other corporation. You can't have your leader hands-off. And he sucks hands-on. He's not good hands-off.
But you know
What
what?
do we have to do?
I will argue this, though. Who's the Spurs owner?
We don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
The point.
Yep.
So we honestly, and TK has been one of the few people actually defending James Dolan. It's not all attributed to him because at times it's like he is hands off,
To a certain
and
extent.
we haven't done well.
not stupid.
And then he is hands on, and we still haven't done well.
Yep.
I say all that to say, sorry, you still gotta go.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about that, guys. We can, always trace and link this back to James Dolan. Thank you, Far. And, but I do want to get back to David Fizdale because this is probably the last time we're going to be speaking on him in such an elaborate kind of way. But from each one of you, what's his name? David Fizdale. That guy. So I just want to touch on one last thing about him. If I can get, the main factor from each one of you guys on what got him clipped, essentially. What was the final straw? What do you guys say? Jay, go ahead.
I actually think it was on purpose in a sense where he wasn't necessarily coaching to the best of his own ability.
Oh, wow.
Because this wasn't what he signed up for, and essentially he was saying, "Get me out of
So
here."
you don't think he was all in?
Nah, not anymore.
Really?
I
Wow.
don't.
I
don't.
disagree completely.
I think he was in from a human standpoint, talking to individuals in terms of making sure that they are inspired, they are motivated, because the Knicks isn't the last team they're going to play for. They still have a career in front of them. The same way Fizdale has a career in front of them. Anyone that is offered the Knicks job right now knows that it is Burning Man.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's Burning Man. Masai, that is such a pipe dream right now, and everyone's advising him not to take it.
Yeah, but I mean, the stakes have got to be pretty damn high.
I think
in order to
The steaks, the shaved potatoes, everything that comes with it is going to be incredibly
fund
high.
his
before you move on to me,
Africa
I think
project.
I'm beyond like thinking about James Dolan. Like if he sells the team, he sells the team. But I'm like beyond. Like obviously,
Same, I'm with
the
you,
fish
Pete.
stinks from the head down. But it's like to me, I'm not like reserved to talk
I'm not
about
banking
that.
on that.
So, but to me, like Steve Mills definitely, because I think Steve Mills has that history with Dolan. And Steve Mills brings that history into every new coach. Steve Mills is never going to have a relationship with the coach like, we're in this together, we have this chemistry. It's always going to be like, all right, I'm going to need you to make this work. And there's never going to be that, like, all on the same page vibe on the Knicks, right? So I think Steve Mills needs to come in because Dolan isn't the guy, but he hires the guy that hires the guys.
Right, that messes
So you
up.
got to replace that guy.
I get
So we
you.
hire the
I
right
get
guys so that then top to bottom they can all have chemistry. They don't have to have chemistry with Dolan, but they have to have chemistry down low. And if you're gonna have people like Scott Mills and Steve Perry, I always
Switch
do
that. Switch
You know
that.
what I'm saying?
Steve Mills.
Steve
Scott
Mills,
Perry.
Scott Perry, Sperry.
And it's always gonna seem like they're at a slightly different level to the coach.
Right.
They're never going to be on the same page. It just seems like a throwaway hire to help them figure it out. It's almost like hiring a subcontractor. There's not that sense of like allegiance there, and I think until that executive role changes, so that whole unit can be on the same page, nothing's going to change. But what are you going to ask?
I want to get back on topic
thing
here because I feel like we could do a whole segment on the Knicks management. You know, from Mills, Perry, all the way to the top of Dolan.
The problem
but
is
I kind of want to stay on topic here because we're running out of time.
Yes.
I just want to say this about Fizz. Very early on last season, I think all 5 of us collectively agreed that Fizdale wasn't going to be the guy to get us to the championship.
Yep.
He may have gotten us to a point where kind of like a Mark Jackson, where he got us to that hump, but couldn't quite get us over that hump.
Was he there just to keep KP?
In a way, but they didn't even give KP
free
an option.
agents to come here.
You know, they didn't even give that an option of working because KP was out of here long before he was able to develop any relationship. But I want to hear from Far and Steph real quick on what the main factor was that got Fizdale clipped.
I didn't answer that question because
Your privileges have been revoked.
Fuck.
Let me just go ahead.
Let me just get through it. Thanks, guys. I think it's like lack of direction.
Okay.
I think a complete lack of direction because it seemed like he kept trying rotations. Are we playing the vets to win? Are we playing the young guys to develop? He seemed very reactive. He wanted to throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks instead of having a vision and coaching to that vision. Yep. I think he was just experimenting for too long, and it kind of gave us the impression it's like, does he know what he's doing? That was part of it. So
I think mine's very short and simple. The record, it's unacceptable.
Games,
It's unacceptable, and he lost 83 games in the span of 2 seasons. That's insane.
21-83 to be exact.
Yeah, it's a full season he lost in the last 2 seasons.
Not even 2 seasons, like a season and a quarter.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's too much.
For me, yeah, record-wise, 100%. And to be honest, like the head coach position is probably the first position to go, right? If you're looking at an organization, it's like if you're looking at a team that sucks, obviously training, packaging players up, but how good would that look this early in the season, right? Training all these players up. So we have to put that away in the back. Steve Mills, Scott Perry, no, we're definitely not getting rid of them. James Dolan, that's obviously never going to happen as long as we're alive. So basically the head coach is the first one to go. That's obviously the scapegoat. He's the one in the front lines, the one that orchestrates everything. So it's got to be
my main
Fizdale.
X factor definitely was lack of development, right? Forget the wins and losses. I think he had a lot more time left to spare had we seen some player development, right? If Frank had taken the next level, if Kevin Knox had taken the next level, Mitch had taken the next level, I think we all would have been like, oh, okay, he was actually doing something with these guys. We didn't see that. Ultimately, that's what got him.
But
clipped.
dude, how are you
signing 12 power forwards?
But how are you gonna do that?
Yeah.
How are you gonna do that if in both seasons you have a drastically different roster where like a few months
That's
in,
when it was tough. It was tough.
You don't have enough time to develop. As like
It was tough.
Spoelstra said, he's like, yeah, it sucks. You need time in this league to develop, but we can't develop if we keep changing everything.
you're
Every
right.
single part
To
keeps
the New York
changing.
Knicks.
When can we
That's the
refresh
Knicks
everything? It's hard. It needs to last a few times.
Can we take any
a year.
Really quick, guys, before I take us out, it would be absolute shame if we didn't discuss our current head coach and Mike Miller. Guys, we just got to talk about him really quickly.
Great
What are you
three-point
looking
shooter.
forward from him?
Great 3-point shooter.
What am I looking forward to?
Mike Miller, the head coach.
I'm looking forward to him implementing movement and to actually get us out of this archaic defense where everyone's in the post.
That's fair.
Let's defend the perimeter. That's all I want from Mike Miller.
Pete.
Same thing. I'd like to see ball movement, but with secondary actions. And I'd like to see. What I mean by that is like when the first play doesn't run, I still want to see backdoor cutters. I still want to see like plan A, plan B, plan C in the offense. And also, I want guys like Randall and Marcus Morris to
Play
be
really well.
integrated into the offense so that if their initial ISO move doesn't work,
They can hit free throws.
there's just some secondary actions taking place to allow them to push the ball out. I just want to see more dynamic offense that has multiple layers to it because with the Knicks, usually if the first thing doesn't work, we go straight to ISO. We don't keep them moving.
Ball movement.
I'm gonna say I hope Mike Miller. I hope Mike Miller can bring his defense to this team. If you look at what he did with Westchester,
And
they were-
Miami.
and I mean, if you look at what he did with Westchester, I think the 4 seasons he was there, outside of one of them where they ranked 16th, they were top 5.
Yep.
And I think
Top
top
5,
4.
top 5.
Yep, Steph.
Nothing against the guy, but I still think this is not going to work out. Let's be real. Like, we're really always talking like, is this
It's quite
the
the
guy?
scientific
Nah,
conclusion
It's
there,
not
Steph.
going to fucking work. One thing I want to see that we haven't seen is some sense of brotherhood. Like all these Knicks teams in the last few years, we haven't seen a sense of like brotherhood, like camaraderie. Like, can we get a coach to at least bring that? I mean, we expected it from David Fizdale, players coach, but I don't see during timeouts like a hug, like a talk, like let's get together, let's write something on the board. I don't see that, bro. Like a brotherhood. Every NBA championship team has like a brotherhood, even if they have new players on the roster.
Bro, we were in Puerto Rico last season or 2 seasons ago.
So what does that
took
mean?
us to Puerto Rico a couple seasons ago. But anyway, I digress. So I definitely need to see, and I said this about Fizdale, I need to see some sort of player development. I have a bold take for you guys. I think no matter who our GM is going to be next year, or no matter who our head coach will be, I believe that Mike Miller will still be on that bench next season. I do think he's going to bring some player development. Exactly. He will be, because you got to keep some consistency there, right? Something that the players feel comfortable in. So the players are going to kind of be, after this year, of course, they're going to be comfortable with Mike Miller, and I do expect to see at least a little bit of player development, because he's going to put the guys in the right places to succeed. Guys, got to take it out with that one. It's been real. Fard, you got a chance to go. You okay? We checked all our boxes. Guys, it's been the MadGood Knicks show. Next segment.
Deuces.
Take it away.
I'm just so depressed.
It happens.
How's your holidays?
Comment below.